Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Madison and this is Mads Makeup. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a tutorial for you all on how to achieve this cranberry maroon eyeshadow look. And the whole look was done with one palette by Makeup Revolution. It's the Makeup Revolution X Soph palette, Extra Spice. And if you want to see how to achieve this whole look, then just keep watching the video. Alright guys, so I finished this eye off camera. I've been doing false lashes. So to continue my one palette, one look kind of series, I'm going to be going into the Makeup Revolution Soph X Extra Spice palette. To start out, I'm going to prime my eyelid with my P.Louise base in shade 2. Okay, so now that the eyelid has been primed, I'm going to be going into shade Mulled Wine, and it's this kind of like purpley maroon shade right here, this nice dark maroon shade. I'm going to be using my Morphe E17 brush. It's kind of a medium-sized, densely packed brush to pack that shade on into the outer V of my eyelid. And then I'm going to go into this shade called 21, this shade right here. It's kind of like a reddish maroon shade. And I'm going to pack that 21 shade on top of the previous shade, Mulled Wine, all around my lid. The reason why I'm packing this on top is because I want the shade to kind of pull as looking more maroon and less purple. As you can see on this eye, it's like nice and maroon. And then just kind of bringing both of those into the inner corner, just like it's like on that side. Okay, next I'm going to be taking the BH Cosmetics brush in number 6, and it's kind of like a flattish fluffy brush, and going into shade Cookie Dough into the same palette. It is this shade right here, and just using that shade to kind of pack along the outside of my lid. That way my base is no longer tacky and I can blend the maroon shade out without any issues of patchiness, or just makes a very smooth base for blending out. And ideally you don't have to use this exact shade. Pretty much what you're wanting is a shade that matches your skin or eyelid color, so that way it just is a natural base to blend out the shadow. So now we're going to be going into that 21 shade again, and that's that kind of reddish maroon color, and using a fluffy brush. I'm using the ColourPop E2 brush. Looks like this. It's just a nice fluffy brush that kind of comes to a tip right there. Using 21 to blend out the shades that are on my lid so it looks nice and seamless, just like this side. And if you kind of feel like your blend went a little bit too far out, I feel like this blend went a little farther out. I'm going to be going back into that Cookie Dough shade, which is kind of close to my skin tone. Back on that flat brush again, and just taking that over the outside, make the blend look a little nicer. Alright, so now I'm going to be going into this shade called Enchanted. It's right here. It's kind of like a really dark maroon, almost brown shade. I'm going to be using that to deepen up the outer corner of this look, so I just want it to look a little bit more darker than it is right now. And I'm going to be using the E17 brush again to do that. Alright, so next step we're going to be doing is cutting the crease. And for this specific cut crease, I wanted to cut a little bit higher than my normal cut crease because I wanted to leave room for that glitter that you can see on that side. I'm going to be going into the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and placing that on my lid to start doing my cut crease. So just place that on the lid, look up. That's where my normal cut would normally be, wherever I look up and it sticks to, but because I want to cut it a little higher, I'm going to be going above that normal line. Alright, so once that crease has been cut in the way you want it, I'm going to be going into this gorgeous rose gold shade in the palette. It's like a shimmery rose gold and it's called Everyday. And I'm going to be placing that all along where I cut the crease, so all along that lid here. And to apply that Everyday shade, I'm going to be using a Morphe M421 brush, and it's just like a very flat, densely packed brush. Spraying it with some MAC Fix Plus, and then dipping into that shade to apply all over the lid. Now we're going to be taking a small bullet brush, and this is the Morphe E36 brush, and going back into those 21 and Mulled Wine shades to blend this lid shade and the outer shades together. Alright, next we're going to be going into that glitter cut, and to do that we're going to be using the Dear Katie Brown glitter liner in shade Firefly, and then I'm going to be applying it with this tiny little tipped brush. So I just pull it out right here and then use the brush to take some of the color because I want that line really small. And I'm applying that glitter like right at the top of the cut crease, almost kind of like on the bottom and top of where the light pink starts and where the dark pink begins. Alright, so now that that glitter line is done, I'm going to be going back in with the Morphe E36 brush into that red and maroon shade, applying those to my lower lash line. And I'm only bringing the shade into about here, because then from here to there, I want to put that shimmery pink shade. And now taking a mini blending brush, this is the Morphe 507 brush, I'm going to be dipping into that red shade and using that to kind of blend out this lower lash line. I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics brush 11 and dipping that back into the everyday pink shade and placing that on the inner part of my lower lash line. Now I'm going to be going into the Pixi by Petra pencil liner, and this is in the shade Black Cocoa, and placing that in my lower waterline. And then with this brown liquid liner, it's the Master Precise All Day Liner by Maybelline. And I'm going to be placing that as a liner on the top of my lid all along my lash line. Alright, so I'm going to go and finish the mascara and lashes off camera, and then I will be back to show you all the finished look. Alright everyone, here is the finished look. I hope you guys all enjoyed this tutorial and learned a little something from it. And if you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you would like, also subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. And thank you so much for watching the video. Bye!